NASA refers to the butt crack as the anal fold. Just in case you wanted to know.
I'm going to update my search history tonight.
For the anal fold.
Yep, I'm gonna see if I can't get that trending.
I think that was all I had to say.
I can't believe that they would call it an anal fold and not the gluteal cleavage, which is what everybody else calls it.
Gluteal cleavage is good.
That's what it's actually called.
I guess it would be, wouldn't it?
Yes, and like a doctor would call it gluteal cleavage. Actually, I'm pretty sure a doctor would just call it your ass crack.
Or as my doctor calls it, his hand warmer.
Okay, I almost punched myself in the face when I heard that.
His nickname for me is Mittens.
Oh, wow. My search history is going to be busy tonight.
All right. Shall we make our show that we claim we make?
Yeah, let's make. Where did you want to begin?
We poop on the floor.
Wrong product.
Wrong make.
That's a very bad Todd. You're going to clean that up.
Okay, you had posted. Well, welcome everybody to the Tucker and Toddcast.
Welcome.
We have an A plot, a B plot, and sort of a C plot for you tonight. My friend Tucker here has done a better job of reviewing the episode from last week, so he'll be the authority.
Well, I mean, I went over it the other day, but I've already forgotten everything except for the stuff I wrote down.
I think that's enough. We can just make it up from there. That's what we do.
Yes, and I was hoping that each one of those beats would inspire a good-sized expansion into a full scene or sketch.
It doesn't want to be copied into docs. All right, I will read it off the page. So shall we just jump in? We begin with
I have it in a doc.
Oh, very nice. But I guess to before we even move on to that, just slightly summarize when it says we're catching up. So at the end of season 3, we collected enough NFTs to beat off to prevent the resurrection of Elrond Hubbard. But we were swindled, not swindled.
We were bamboozled.
Flummoxed. Yeah.
Oh, I like flummoxed. We were flummoxed.
We were flummoxed by Abaddon and Bezolbub, and he actually acquired all of the NFTs and was able to resurrect the fractured soul of Elrond Hubbard. And as we tumbled into the boss room at the end in Mount Poon, right as we tumbled in, Elrond Hubbard was just finishing a ritual in which he threw all of reality into chaos. Many people, it was almost very similar to a Thanos or Thanos. I still don't know.
Thanal fold.
A Thanal fold. A Thanal snap.
Oh, you don't want to have one of those.
No, right after that, you get a Thanal snap leads to a Thanal fissure.
Yeah, they got a lot of those in the emergency room on a Thursday night. Thanal snaps. Real talk. Real talk. ER doctors want everybody to know to stop putting stuff up your ass that isn't designed to go up your ass.
Or, like in that episode of Grey's Anatomy, don't swallow doll heads so that you can feel good pooping them out.
Don't do that either. Don't swallow things that aren't supposed to be swallowed.
It's harder to get them out that way, honestly.
Don't just treat your buttholes better, people. You'll be glad later when it's still working when you're 60.
That's around the time that you really want it to be working.
Oh, yeah. That's about when I start equating my dignity with my anal functionality. I guess I don't now. We're still living breezy.
You know, like that trope of women bemoaning, like wasting their best birthing years or whatever. We're wasting our best shitting years.
We're taking it all for granted.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yes, we've got the A plot, which is social constructs. The B plot, which will be the leader of the Pseudointellectuals, to be announced later. It's you're gonna have to actually listen. And then Abaddon is the C plot. Now I didn't listen in on the end of season 3. I probably should have, in order to best place everybody at the beginning of the because we're starting with the filler bit. That's right. That's when we're catching up, and I don't know where everybody is, so we're gonna wing it.
Yeah. The way I imagined it, so I don't know if I imagined it as like recounting that last second from their perspective of like watching us tumble out of the vent shaft or whatever. I can't even remember how we got into the room, but I always imagine it as coming through a vent shaft.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't remember how we infiltrated, but I do know that they were running. We were behind them. We weren't chasing them. We were also fleeing from the what's now just a wound in reality. And Annabelle pushed us back in. So I think the moment after Annabelle pushes us in and shuts the door behind her, when
that
everybody
makes
else,
sense.
yeah, when we lost contact with them, moving forward from there is a good place to start.
So should we start with like Annabelle slamming the door closed and then catch up with them like running back to her warship?
Yeah. Although I actually think Annabelle is going to ditch Abaddon to go and get her sister's airship. If you
Oh, right.
recall,
I do
we
recall.
trashed it. So maybe Annabelle throws the keys to her ship to Bezolbub and Elrond.
Okay, so yeah, I do need to recount that then a little bit. So we destroyed her ship. How did that work? Did we take it there and
We
crash
we
it?
just we destroyed Annabelle's sister's airship. I don't remember if we gave Annabelle's sister a name. We probably did.
Oh, I feel like we did. I think we figured out oh yes, I can just see it in my mind. She was like a benevolent.
Yes, she was a nice type of lady. She was an adventurer kind with an airship.
Yeah, I think she was a like a we decided that she was like a PhD or something like that. She's like a research doctor who was finding a cure for something or something like that. Anyhow, we borrowed that ship from her and destroyed that. So Annabelle is going to her sister's ship. Does she know it's destroyed?
It's not totally destroyed, but it's not currently in working condition. We gave it a hard landing.
Is she going to recover it, or is she going to recover something that's like hidden within its depths?
Interesting that you should say that. She's going to do the former in order to accomplish the latter.
Okay. Well, did you have something imagined already?
No, because I didn't think of it until you said it just now.
So she's got to get it to a safe place and in some sort of like state of semi repair so that she can get to the safe room or whatever.
Yeah, she definitely has to get it in working order enough for it to fly out of there. Because whatever happens to be in it, there's just assume that whatever is in it that's special isn't something you can just pull out and put in your pocket. You basically need to take it with the ship. So she
Oh.
needs to get it out of there. The whole ship needs to move.
Is there a soul trapped in the ship? The
That's
moment you start saying there's
spooky.
like something sentient that like the ship has to come with because there's something living in it.
We should be in a lot more trouble for trashing it then if that's the case.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Although now that it's very funny in my mind. Us
Although I
crashing the
guess
ship.
I
It's like,
guess
oh,
it makes pretty good sense that that's why Annabelle gave us the push.
right.
Because I did say that that was mostly in retaliation for trashing her sister's ship.
And so now she has a little bit more motivation for why she is mad about that.
Yes, something very precious to her is on that ship and we endangered it.
Well, now are we subverting that then, where we build it up like it's something that's very meaningful and important, and then it's just like a box of Scooby snacks or something?
I like that better. It's just, do you know how hard these are to find? Come on.
Oh yeah, some kind of snack you can only get in like the Netherlands. It's Strookwafel.
Strookwafel.
Or is it a pirate pun of some kind that I got to figure out? Plank cakes? I don't know.
No, I like Strookwafel.
Strookwafel is funny.
Yeah, it's currently killing me. Yeah, okay. She's gonna be like, she's gonna get onto the ship. She's gonna start tearing through it, like going through drawers and cupboards and boxes. She's like, oh, come on. It's gotta be here. It's gotta be here. And then she opens up a cupboard and there's like a glint of light on her face, very reminiscent of when the fellas open the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, yeah.
So if she and her face lights up, she's like, "There you are," and then bam, we can cut. We can
Oh,
cut
we just
away
cut?
from. Oh yeah, we can cut away from that scene and go straight to Elrond and Bezolbub, who have the keys and are now getting on Annabelle's ship.
That okay, I do like that.
Oh yeah, I wanna try and like squeeze it out for as long as
Build up some
possible.
mystery. Yeah.
Okay, so they're get the compared to her sister's ship, Annabelle's is very like piratey and sci-fi combined, rather than what's almost like a high adventure kind of steampunk airship.
Hmm.
So
So
it's much
not
more.
not Treasure Planet.
No, Annabelle's is not as Treasure Planet, but it's still got some of those same pirate aesthetics, but it's combined with some of the more hardline cyberpunk. Almost looks like it came out of Blade Runner.
Oh, is there also a lot of Abaddon product placement on her ship?
it's got it's got like a little phone number on it.
Yeah, because she's like sponsored or whatever.
Yes, it's got the little Abaddon logo on it, and it's got a big. It's got to have a big logo on the side.
One
Big.
of one of the lick boots on the ship comes around like as Abaddon or not Abaddon as Bezolbub and Elrond are like having a very serious conversation. Somebody like kind of like slides into the frame, going like, "I love my Abaddon coffee," and he gets like smacked in the face and pushed out of frame.
Not
Not
now.
yeah, not now. Yeah.
Yes, it's just everything is product placement and advertisements. Even casual conversation through the halls of the ship.
Oh, I guess we could. Okay, we do that. We do it in threes. Then it becomes more and more egregious each time, and then on the third one, that's when Basilbub snaps and says, "I own the fucking company. You do not need to do commercials."
Yeah, what are you selling to me for? God has a little bit
I'm
of a tiff.
surrounded by imbeciles.
Elrond is just like, mm-hmm. He's not aware that Bezalbub is talking about him too.
Indubitably.
After all, this coming catastrophe is totally Elrond's fault.
Oh, is so because Basilbub's plan for resurrecting Elrond was to use him for his own exploits or whatever. But Elrond's decision to create the massive gaping wound was not part of Jesus Christ, too many names.
It was not part of Bezalbub's plan, and I'm not convinced that Elrond knew that that was going to happen. He knew something was going to happen. He was trying to do something, but I'm not sure he intended to create like a bleeding, pulsating wound in reality. I think he
Oh,
just wanted to create a stable portal.
is that this conversation then? Like, what the fuck are you doing? I have like an economy. We have infrastructure to keep in place. You're destroying the planet. What are you doing? And he's like, I was just trying to summon a glass of water or whatever. Was it a
Yep.
stable
As
portal?
as soon as they get situated on the flight deck or whatever, I guess not a flight deck, although the ship definitely has a flight deck. They get seated in like a captain's room somewhere, and they sit down. The ship is now taking off. They're flying away. Annabelle is scrambling to get the airship in working order. The crew mysteriously get off the island. We're trapped, just taking inventory of where everybody is. As soon as Basilbub and Elrond get situated, that's when Basilbub turns to him and is like, "What the fuck was that?"
Out of curiosity, for the sake of a gag, are they in bathroom stalls and there's a sign on the door that says poop deck?
I think that they should definitely walk by a bathroom in the hallway that and for the sake of futurism, it's totally unisex and washrooms is crossed out and it just says poop deck. But that's the sign over the bathroom.
Oh, it says what is the word they use? Non-binary poop deck.
I think it just says anybody. In that way, it kind of just like sidesteps all of the identity stuff.
True.
I guess it just says, people only.
What is the term they use for it when they're talking about we have a new genderless bathroom though? Do they say non-binary, genderless, non-gendered?
Whatever happened to unisex?
Do they say unisex? I don't know.
I do. I thought that would work. Maybe it doesn't work anymore.
I mean that is a word that I associate with like hairstyle, hair salons or whatever. But I feel like when they were always talking about it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now I'm confused. I don't I don't know what anything means now.
I feel like because it's been so To steal a word from JBP, it's been so postmodernized to death. I think that they don't include the word sex in those things because sex and gender are, so everybody has to make the point different.
That's actually why I'm wondering if unisex is applicable anymore, is because of the sex. I'm sure the uni part is fine. That's why I think the sign should just say anybody.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, moving on.
Humans only.
Oh, that is a whole. There's an uprising of robots that want to be allowed in.
They don't have to go to the bathroom. But what we really want to do is keep the furries out.
Oh, good point. Yeah, the one furry on the ship, the guy that walks around in a parrot costume.
Oh, that's the perfect thing for him to wear on such a ship too.
Well, I'm imagining this is Black. This is Blackbush's. What's her name? Annabelle's gimp.
Oh yeah, I guess she would have one, and he would dress like a parrot. But I guess if he is the gimp, he would be mistreated by everybody. But then maybe he should be a monkey instead. Okay, where were we?
We were walking past the poop deck so that Elrond and
Right, and we were
Bezolbub
talking about our macaroni rascal for like 15 minutes.
yeah.
Right. And I think that once again, just like the poop deck, this macaroni rascal is just going to be like a background gag that we walk by.
Yeah, maybe he's just like on his phone ordering a cracker. Come on, Paulie wants a cracker. Oh, maybe Paulie is a friend of his. I don't know.
Maybe Paulie is talking to his crack dealer.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, deal.
These pirates like drugs as much as anybody. Paulie wants some crack.
I'm writing that down because it made me laugh. Yes, okay, those are throwaway gags. Moving forward, this conversation.
Yes, they make it to the captain's quarters. Bezolbub turns to Elrond. What the fuck? What was that? What have you done?
Now, it's been a long time since we have actually talked to Elrond, and I can't remember what sort of like character or personality we gave him way back in the day, but given that he's been floating around in the void for 2 seasons, he probably is totally different from whatever he was, whether he's like Zener, more Zen, I should say, or like a prisoner becomes, oh, what is it? American History X?
Institutionalized?
I
But
think
yeah,
so.
he is definitely changed from his experience because I mean he's been in the outside for a while. He had his soul shattered into a bajillion pieces, partially assimilated by Paperboy, spat back out when Paperboy was destroyed. So now he's been forcibly reconstituted. He is probably a little bit weird. So I bet you he responds kind of cryptically.
He is weird, but I'm now thinking about the prison thing. We weren't we accidentally blew him up and vaporized him into nothing, I think. I can't remember how that happened. Yeah, we blew him up. With a reactor that had outside goo in it, I think.
Makes sense.
It was a ship that was able to time travel because it had outside magic in it. And then he got blasted into the outside. So, is there a chance that maybe he has actually been reformed by this process? And that's where some of the drama is going to come out? All these different factions want to co-opt him and like use him for their nefarious means, but he just wants to. He's just now like this weird like mushroom hippie.
Either that or he's become kind of too closely attached to the outside, and now he wants to bring it into this reality. So the
Oh,
portal was a deliberate act.
is there some sort of larger, like we've never talked about any sort of, oh, sorry, I'm just ADD brain. We were talking about God as a supercomputer, and shall we call him Deity?
Dayit.e. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dayit.exe.
Yeah, something like that. But what I was gonna say was, is there some sort of, you know how when the upside down was introduced, there I can't even remember if there was like, is there like a god figure? There was the giant meat monster thing, the giant spider thing.
Which was kind of one component of a greater sort of central intelligence.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna say, is there some sort of central intelligence located in the outside that is like of it? But that would, I guess, maybe negate the notion that it is all chaos.
Yeah, that would diminish it a little bit, having like an ordering sort of thing to it. However, there are intelligences there. I mean,
True.
Columbo's old bosses live there.
Oh, yeah. I'm liking this. Yeah, so maybe we don't reveal for a long time what it is, but maybe there has been a voice that was like whispering into the void that Elrond was in.
Certainly could be. He could actually be a pawn of a greater power.
And I guess the decision with that would be like, is he aware that he is now like an acolyte of the hidden power, where he sees himself as a disciple and he wants to go out and do its bidding, or is he an unwitting pawn?
He's I think it's both in a way, because like many people who wind up becoming kind of cultists and servants of eldritch powers, they serve, but they really don't actually understand what it is they're serving or the real consequences that would, result from serving them. So he's definitely on board, but he doesn't actually understand. He's still blind to the truth.
Do you think he rejects fantasology, or is he trying to co-opt his newfound wisdom or whatever into his old teachings?
Oh, he is definitely going to start kind of shifting the cult of fantasology to become a cult of some elder being that's in the outside, or
That's
maybe the outside itself.
I think that's going to have to be like a whole other episode, because he's going to have to go confront Jeff Bridges about taking
Yes,
fantasology back.
yes. But for now, he's going to pretend to be ignorant. He's going to tell Bezolbub that this was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. I had no idea that that's what was going to happen. I was trying to create a stable portal because that would be very useful for our plans.
Would there be some sort of reference? I'm trying to think of like I'm hesitant to call it a joke, but he says something along the lines of like, I've been trying to snap for 7 years or something like that. I guess I don't know my own strength.
I don't know if he's going to have a sense of humor when he comes back. He's probably all weird.
Oh, I like that also. Like he's all spaced out.
Yeah, he has trouble looking directly at people. He's always got a 1,000-yard stare.
He's Eugene Levy in A Mighty Wind.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting then. So then, because he's spaced out, does Bezolbub kind of dismiss him? Like, ah, you fucking useless old man.
Yeah, he probably just throws his hands up and like, well, there's no undoing it from here with what we've got. We're going to have to head back to the station and regroup.
Okay, and that's their prompt to go back to the station, and that's when we can cut away back to what's going on with one of our A-B plots.
Yes, we've spent enough time on this C plot for now.
Yeah, we'll have to jump back at least one more time to show them in the space station, and that the space elevator is disintegrating or whatever.
Yeah, it's being either ripped apart by like riots on the ground level, or it's being torn up by weird portals and stuff, or both. Probably both.
Well, we could do a little bit of both, because we could have it in the process of being torn down by protests, and then when the world declares a war and sends a nuke through the wormhole that pops out another wormhole, maybe it comes and hits the space elevator.
Oh, just gets spanked by javelin missiles.
I've only been hearing this javelin term recently. Is this a new type of missile?
I have no idea if javelins are new or not.
Apparently they're British.
Surface to air missile.
They're only 175 grand.
Oh, great. I can never afford one.
Oh, and it can be fired from the shoulder. Oh, British and Canadian. Oh, it's first entered in 1984. It's not new. Never mind.
No, and it's man portable, which means it's not the kind of hardware we're going to be sending at a portal that we've just declared war on.
No, that would be, what is it? The Moab?
Oh, a thermobaric missile? Yeah, we
Yeah,
just might.
thermobarbaric.
And that they're ridiculous. But that would definitely make short work of a space elevator.
See, I know that. So would that not count as chemical warfare? I know it's like an immediate reaction and then a reaction, but it's cheating, I think. Like all bombs suck.
It's only chemical warfare if you count all bombs as chemical warfare.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because the thermobaric detonation is just like a really, really powerful explosion. It consumes all of the oxygen in the area to further expand its own explosion.
Well, my understanding was that it actually there's an initial explosion which disperses a chemical, which then gets eaten up faster than the oxygen would.
I don't know. All I know is that it uses the oxygen available around to fuel a massive explosion.
I mean, technically, that is chemical warfare.
Yeah, no shit. That's why I said technically all bombs are chemical warfare if we're gonna go that route.
I guess we should, since we have apparent like laws or rules or good graces in war.
Yeah, who does?
I don't know. Aren't there rules?
Yeah, show me one person who follows any of them.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
If nobody follows them, then there aren't rules. That's the rule. Is that there are only rules so long as people follow them or that they can be enforced.
But the news still talks about them as if they're real. I wonder how much that tells you about the news, huh?
Well, it tells me that they don't quite know the difference between a suggestion and a rule.
Which is why they lie all the time.
I think they lie all the time for different reasons, but in this case, it's why they're often mistaken.
I have no further thoughts. Shall we get back on track?
Who
Are
do
we
we
hanging
want
out
to
with the
visit?
crew?
Who do we
Well,
want to visit first?
Well, I like them both so much, but I think since this is going to be a plot, we should catch up with Tucker and Todd, and then we can do a little hinting at who the crew is hanging out with a little bit.
I agree. The reveal of the pseudo-intellectuals leader is actually like almost a bit that gets slotted in between other bits. So it is time to reunite with Tucker and Todd, who are just now leaving the witch's hut after they went in and looted it.
So you had typed that out, and I couldn't remember. I did not remember that we actually discussed that being a part of an episode. I felt like that was still a note within Discord. But was that something that happened? Did we go on a quest?
Yeah, we did. We went on a quest for a witch, and it turns out that she was killed, and all of the gnomes were dancing.
Oh, I remember this now. Yes, okay.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Ding dong.
Yeah, and so we failed the quest, and that means there was nobody to give us the quest complete and give us a reward. So we were like, "Fuck that! We're gonna go ahead and get in there and loot her."
We opened a
we
GM
looted.
ticket.
Yeah, a gnome ticket. So and then we loot her house while there are like gnome cops taping off the area.
So are we coming? Is that? Oh, do we come back to us? Do we do a little bit of editing wizardry, and so we cut away to Tucker and Todd in gnome jail?
Well, we step back out, and the gnomes are like they have to sort of intimate that we're suspicious, even though we've already engaged with them, on our way in, because they delivered a message to us from our friends, and we're like, where are they? So they were going to send a return message back, which will get there sometime this century. So they already know we're there, but they wait until we're on our way back out after looting the place to get upset with us.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like we could skip an interaction with them and just cut immediately to us in jail, and then we can do like, I guess that would just be exposition. Why did you have to say blah 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 rather than showing the actual conversation?
I think we need to step out, and then there's a gang of gnomes like slapping their palms with billy sticks. They just give us a look, and then it smash cuts to us in a jail cell.
Oh, so in order to establish, okay, that works too, I guess. But in order to establish a little bit of setting, so it cuts away from Bezolbub and Elrond, and it cuts to us in the witch's house still doing our looting?
Yeah, we're just like picking through her, drawers and cupboards in a scene very reminiscent of what Annabelle was doing on her sister's airship.
Right. But I guess we could also do a couple of like witch gags and looting gags maybe, because when you said drawers, I thought like one of us could be saying, "Hey, did you check those drawers?" And then you said, "I did already," and you've got like a whole bunch of like underpants.
Yeah, why are you taking the witch's underwear? Don't ask stupid questions. We don't ask questions in the outside.
The witch's britches.
But I was also thinking that quite possibly the gnomes fail to apprehend us because they're terrible at everything.
Oh, do they have a very slow... Oh, they don't have walkie-talkies. They have those cans with a string. Is that a joke I made already? I feel like I did that.
The cans with strings? Yeah, they all just have that, including the gnome cops.
And so are we, because we're fairly not giant compared to them, but obviously much larger.
Even Tucker is bigger than they are by a small margin.
So is that why they can't stop us? We just step over them?
Yeah, they can't overpower us, and they're also just too slow and inefficient. So we just start walking, and they can't keep up.
And then they end up. Let me think of the word. They Lilliputian us.
Ugh, what's that?
That's in Gulliver's Travels. The giants are Brobdingnagians, and the little people are Lilliputians, and the Lilliputians drag Gulliver
Oh,
down with string.
oh, they definitely have the string, but I don't think they're going to use it for that. They're going to use it to be like, "That's it. We're going to report this,"
Oh,
because I think they're going to come along with a vehicle, and then we're going to have to actually run, but we're going to outpace the vehicle while running. But I was thinking that we would come upon this factory during our flight, and we would hide in it.
okay, that works. Okay, that's why we weren't going to jail, was because we were simply running from the law.
Yeah. So we are running away from these gnomes who are chasing us in like a golf cart, I guess. And we come upon this factory just like in the middle of nowhere. And the gnomes aren't paying attention, so we decide to deke right in, and they pass the place by. They've assumed we've gone on, and so they're still chasing us out there. And pretty much as soon as the door closes behind us, that's time for Greg House to say something snippy.
Oh, you're right. I was getting the order of things right. I was gonna say, as we run into the factory, do we see doppelgangers of us leaving, and we have a second of hey, and then right as we do our hey, we keep running, and then they get mobbed by the police.
Interesting. So you want to see the doppelgangers right away?
Well, because you said there's not a an assembly line of Todds and Tuckers, but in my mind, if there's one set of doppelgangers, surely there's other sets. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they don't have us scanned in. I think as soon as we enter
Oh,
the
right.
factory, either we need to be interrupted by Greg House, or we need to immediately be triggering some kind of scanning sequence. And it shows like a robot arm coming down and scanning us with like a green laser. And then immediately we see machinery deeper in the factory start turning, and gears start moving, and then our copies come out and then get like a cartoon boot kick right out the back door.
I That's enjoyable. I'm having so many different ideas right now because I feel like we do need to have the cane and top hat, purple jacket, somersault moment on the red carpet. But so does that sequence
I
happens?
know I know exactly how it happens now. We
Go ahead.
watch our doppelgangers get kicked out the back door, and we just look at each other and go, "What the hell was that?" And that's the opportunity for somebody on off screen to be like, "Never mind that," and then immediately do the somersault in, but it's like really low energy and just like unenthusiastic because it's House. So he does like a really lazy version of it.
And he doesn't execute it right, so he comes out of it kind of wrong and like kind of like tips to the side and has to like slowly like pick
Yeah,
himself up off the ground.
he has to kind of really lean into his cane and grab onto a nearby banister or something.
And then as he's getting up, he's like struggling to get up. He looks up at us like all like frustrated. Like, do you fucking mind? You want to lend a guy a hand?
Do you
Hello, I'm a
mind?
cripple.
Do you mind? And then we're just like, no, we really don't.
Yeah, we don't mind.
That's fine. Take your time.
Yeah, go ahead.
These guys are not very good people.
Oh no, we're inclusive.
Yeah, you can do it.
That's so funny.
We're very supportive.
Nah, you're doing good, buddy. Good job. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, we learned this mode of support from our nice cop friends from Minnesota.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Greg House grumbles as he picks himself up, and he's like, "Anyway, welcome."
To the House of House.
Oh, did we actually come up with a name for the place that he would be the really reluctant, unenthusiastic, unhappy tour guide for?
I feel like it should be a joke that has to do with him, but also with the fact that it is a factory for social constructs. Who's a sociologist who talked about constructs? McLuhan?
All of them.
Yeah, I guess technically.
If it weren't for constructs, they wouldn't have a degree. Constructs are real, though.
I'm just gonna check if anybody coined that term. The theory of social constructionism was introduced in 1966 by sociologists Peter L. Berger and Thomas Luckman. Welcome to Luckburger
Oh,
or Luckberg.
I like Luckberg better. If it's Luckburger, we have to be like, everything has to have like a thing of fries.
Welcome to Luckburger, the home of the Luckburger.
Can I take your order? Okay, so house will be all, welcome to Luckburger, where dreams are made real and fun for everybody.
And we're like, really? And he's like, no.
No, this is a house of horrors.
No pun intended.
Pun intended. Yeah, you can't say that after the fact. Or no, you can't say that before the fact.
Is he called Gregory House?
My name is Gregory, and I'll be your tour guide today.
Greg? Can I call you Greg? Greg?
I mean, of course you can call him Greg. I listened to her heartbeat. It went, Greg House, Greg House, Greg House.
Are you talking about Cuddy?
No, that was an episode where House had a stalker.
Oh. We should have fans someday. A fan club.
Oh, gosh, I hope not. But I also hope so.
Well, I mean, in the show, we should have like pesky stalkers, stands or whatever. Oh, we already have a stand. Stands.
Interesting. None of Stan's stands either.
I'm confused now.
Me too. So, Greg, he recites a practiced, pre-written little welcome greeting speech, all in his very off of a little cue card. I'm pretty sure he's had to read it enough times that he's memorized it.
It's all sweaty and it's all crinkled, wrapped in packing tape.
I don't think he needs one. He just probably throws it away. He's like, welcome.
How long has he been here?
From the look of him, way too long. He hates this place. You only hate a place after you've been there for a long time.
True. Do we know what keeps him there?
Dental.
That is funny.
Either that or he just, nobody asks. He's just bound there. Magic. He has another 2 centuries of tour guiding before he pays off his debt.
And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, because, of course, he's going to make it clear that he hates the place. And Todd is going to ask him, if you hate this place so much, why are you still here? Because precious Todd, he just wants to know the truth.
I'm a seeker.
And so House tells him, I have 200 years left on my contract. And then I guess this is an opportunity for Tucker to make fun of unions. But, most importantly, this is when he has to take us by one of the exhibits and make really terrible tour guide humor in that same kind of, okay.
Are there, because the way we originally conceived of this idea was that he would be a tour guide at a place where people were touring, but he hates giving the tour. So are we the only ones there, or is there now like a line coming in through the admission gate or whatever?
He pulls us away to where there is a tour group already waiting.
Hurry up, we got to join the tour. And then he walks with his cane.
Exactly. Everybody here is so slow. Time doesn't matter, man. But that is an opportunity for House to remind us that he is a cripple.
Hello? I can't do a House impression.
People used to have more respect for cripples, No, they didn't.
Oh, that's a good way to phrase it.
That's an actual line of his.
Oh, we can just use his lines.
And then he just says, they didn't really. So he's got to tell his stupid tour guide joke. Everybody else in the tour starts laughing. We are confused.
We don't get the joke?
We get the joke. It's not funny. And Greg clearly agrees because he's not laughing either. In fact, the jokes seem to be rehearsed in exactly the same way as his welcome speech.
And if somebody does laugh, he just stares them down?
Everybody in the tour besides us laughs. He just kind of rolls his eyes and sags his shoulder that much more in defeat.
Because we don't laugh, does he start like taking a shine to us?
Oh, quite possibly. Although he probably remembers that we didn't help him up with his cane.
That's true.
But I think Greg would get over something like that pretty quick.
So what is he giving a tour? Is he giving a tour of the social construct facility then? What is the first stop? And do we have a Dulop is a perfect place gag again?
I would love to have a Dulop is a perfect place again gag, especially if Tucker is the one who wants to do it again.
I don't remember how it worked because that was in the utopian society that was all built on ideology, right?
That's correct. And if I recall, it turned out to not be so utopian at all.
No, it wasn't. But do you remember that when you say what Tucker did it? Is it similar to the let's do that again, the donkey gag?
Yeah, and somebody has to say no. Only this time it's House who reaches out with the cane, and snags me on the shirt collar with with the handle.
As he slams the doors closed.
On the exhibit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. We're not even gonna look at that one. Oh.
Oh, does it get a whole verse out, or does he slam it closed before it has a chance to even get like a whole word out?
It gets started.
Yeah, bum, ba-dum, dum, dum, blah.
Yeah, it clearly gets started and is gonna take us away into song, and Tucker is getting excited, as you do.
The music starts up and you can hear the chorus, whatever they are, the little kids on the little kid puppets. They all take they all breathe in to start singing, and that's when the door slams.
Yeah, just in the same kind of note where they would begin their song. That's when the door slams. He's like, nope.
The hope dies in Tucker's face.
Yeah, he's crestfallen. Oh.
There's the little violin note.
Womp womp. Then Greg just moves us along. But that is the welcome song. Let's go ahead and figure out what the first exhibit on the social construct thing should be. It should probably be something a little bit not so complex, like the social construct of what is motherhood. That is a doozy. That's way up there. Something simple, like, I don't know, politeness.
Would you like a list of 18 social constructs, and then maybe we can pick one we like?
Yes. Feed me your list.
Well, these are very slim. The society, law, economics, languages, concepts, which it says are mostly tied to language.
Well, they are tied to language, and they are just basically ideas.
Yeah.
Let's have some real social constructs. Rules was good.
Where was this one? Yeah, culture, literature and music, entertainment, art, architecture, traditions, fashion, communication, technology, roles, norms, emotions, and human behavior.
Technology is not a social construct, it's an actual piece of engineering.
Yeah, it's a bad list.
This is a bad list. Manners. That's a social construct.
Oh, here we go. Government, race, gender, illness, marriage, family, organized religion, deviance. Ooh, I like that. Education.
Deviance will be the last one.
Yeah, of course.
Everything will be like blurry.
Everybody's oh God!
Yeah, everybody has to cover their eyes, and it's just like everything on the display. Everything on the display like wiggles and undulates and vibrates.
Everybody vomits on cue.
Except for one guy who's pitching a tent. There's always one guy. But the deviance one, that'll be the last one. The first one I think should just be manners.
Okay, I'm good with that. Because I've been actually thinking lately that I hate manners.
I like some manners. I think it's good to be polite when manners are about being inclusive and just like generally being kind to people. Some things, which I would actually group more into etiquette, which is about exclusion rather than inclusion.
Right, there
would be like what side of your plate your fork goes on. Like super restrictive dinner etiquette that doesn't actually yield a benefit to anybody. That's shit. That's stuff that exists only because it's a social construct, and we just have it because we have it.
So in that vein, I guess, would you want to talk about fashion? Because some of those start bleeding into each other a little bit.
Fashion could be a very good option for display number 2.
Yeah. Okay. So first one is manners. And so this is a new social construct?
Well,
like a new version of manners?
This is we're going to see what manners look like made manifest hot off the press. But maybe it should be etiquette, because etiquette is the far more cruel of the two.
Right, it's the actual rule set.
Yeah, manners are mostly just about being decent. Etiquette is the stuff that serves no real purpose besides to exclude people who don't fall into it.
Right. It's about maintaining the boys' club. Well, the club.
Yeah, it's like low-key tribalism.
So hot off the press, are we doing a commentary here where we say that all social constructs as they are now are not as they originally were intended and have been warped by time and culture?
You mean other social constructs?
Yeah.
Social constructs interacting with each other has caused them to become warped over time. So what would etiquette look like in a physical manifestation?
Like, I mean, when you say that, the first thing that pops into my mind, my child brain turns them into two characters named Et and Kit.
Oh, one's got a monocle. And they got little teacups, pinky out and everything.
One's got a monocle, the other has a bustle.
Oh, naturally. Yeah, it's our old friends looking for moose and squirrel. And now they're all just like super dashing and
They're a
really,
little bit more, is it Edwardian or Victorian that I'm thinking?
I think, Victorian.
Yeah.
Very high society.
Yes.
Indeed. And all they do is sneer at everybody else. This is Et and Kit.
Do we have any interaction with them, or are they like? Are we watching all this like when you go to like a chocolate factory or whatever, and you watch behind glass as you go from like station to station?
Oh, are we lucky enough to be separated by glass, or does this place have no safety standards whatsoever?
That's totally possible. What is the design of this place? Are we in like a large industrial factory?
Yeah, it's a big industrial factory. There is a conveyor belt, and there are like chutes above certain parts of the conveyor belt. That's where the social constructs are going to come tumbling down from, is from the chute.
Okay.
Either that or the chute comes down, and then as it lifts up, the social construct is on the belt where it's set down. So yeah, it's just like ka-chunk, and then there is a fresh social construct there. And then it's going to get, conveyor belted over into an Abaddon package where a drone is going to carry it away for delivery.
Oh.
Because only in the outside does Abaddon's drone courier service actually work, because there's no restricted airspace.
Right.
Unlike pretty much every city. So we see Et and Kit, they come out, they've got their, super high society look, monocle, little teacup, pinkies out. They sneer at everybody. Do they say anything?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. If they, I mean, they might have to have some quotes because I think they should all have voices because I like doing voices. But also, I guess Greg would be is he giving us some exposition on like what the intended purpose of etiquette is?
Yes, probably. And since House also really doesn't like things like social constructs of this particular nature, he would be even more glum about it. So he would probably give it a scathing review.
Is he here as a punishment rather than just simply he signed a contract?
I'm sure that his contract involved him paying off his debt, and his inability to pay it off with anything but time means that he is being punished here. So yeah, definitely a punishment.
Okay, so this is the first interaction. I'm also wondering, should we do some Willy Wonka what's the word? Parallels here where like so the first room they went into in Willy Wonka was the first thing they met. There was the chocolate river, etc., right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how we can chocolate river this without somebody desperately trying to get into their Amazon delivery box with them and then getting shipped away.
Because we're not turning any of our tourists into main characters.
No, but since etiquette is all about exclusion, they're not going to let anybody into their box with them either.
Well, that's good. And then somebody can make I guess that's the point. At that point, Greg can make the observation that that's like the saddest part about etiquette.
They never want to let you into their box.
They don't put out.
They won't let you come in their box.
Okay, it's a
moving on.
A joke.
Moving
that
on.
has to be in it now. They won't let you come in their box.
Yeah, well, thanks, Greg. We're going to blame Greg House for that one. That was all him. The manners social constructs, they always let you come in.
I guess, is that what he says? That's the curious difference between manners and etiquette. Etiquette doesn't let you come in their box. Oh, do we see them spit out? Do we see manners and etiquette as two different products, or is it only the etiquette?
We only see the etiquette for now. The manners one should be just off to the side, it's out of order.
Oh, okay.
Which is how we explain the terrible, terrible shortage of manners just everywhere.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, because I've noticed it, haven't you?
I have, especially on the road.
That's an entirely different set of manners, and I don't know if they ever made those.
We're still catching up, I guess.
Production will begin sometime within the next 200 years.
But was that enough of that first social construct?
Well, you wanted them to say something.
Yeah, I guess. Would they be talking to each other, or do we see them excluding?
I guess they would only talk to each other, and all they would say to each other is just like snide comments about everybody else.
Oh, are they like roasting us as they see us watching them?
A little bit, although the amount of effort and time they're willing to waste on observations about us is probably pretty limited. They're already starting to move down the conveyor as they sneer and heckle. Which means they fall into their box and it closes, and then we hear a muffled sound as they continue to just like deride us.
Did you notice every single one of them staring, mouth agape?
Disgusting.
Oh, one of us points like, "Did you hear what they said?"
Oh, pointing.
One faints.
Oh, catch me. Of course, it's got to be the tall lady falling on the short guy. Catch me. She crushes him into the box.
See, that's fun, silly cartoon stuff.
I love fun, silly cartoon stuff. And this is the opportunity for somebody to try to get in there with them. And then they shove him out. And then the box closes and the drone carries him off. And that's when Greg gets to give his little, that's the difference between manners and etiquette. Etiquette don't let you come in their box.
That's a good little sequence. So she faints and then immediately is not actually being, she immediately comes to shove them out or prevent them from coming in.
Yeah, she just plays at being faint. She's just like, oh, she's aghast.
Got a case of the vapors.
Yeah. And so the drone carries them away and Greg is just like, moving on. So we shuffle and shamble towards the next one, which I think we decided was fashion. Since we've had a little bit of time, do we have any ideas for fashion?
No.
Damn it. I guess it should be
Is fashion even the right word?
Fashion, or do you want to go with like taste or aesthetic? I think fashion is a little bit more focused. I was thinking that the chute would come down and lift back up and it's a runway model in one of those like really weird experimental outfits that you see on runways sometimes.
All the time now.
Yeah, like it's like made out of 6 different colored garbage bags and like a felt cutout of a weird smile. Like it's just like weird.
Ever since Kanye has had recognition in the fashion world, everything looks like his shoes now.
I think that's what Greg is gonna say.
Okay, I've been looking for a way to take digs at Kanye because I'm sick of the man. So I'll take that.
Yeah, I think Greg is even more sick, and he's gonna be. That is his exact explanation for whatever this atrocious fashion look is.
Do we tee it up for him? I don't know. I took it to a dark place. I was like, one of us says, like, kind of mutters to it, like, that looks like a Kanye shoe, and he like pulls out a knife and starts like staring at his wrist, and we're like, Greg. I'm sorry, boys, if there's one thing I can't stand.
I don't. I think the line there should be reserved for Greg to be like modern fashion. Everything ever since they let him get a leg into the fashion world, everything just looks like that idiot's shoes. And then that's the opportunity for Tucker and Todd to be like, what idiot? Kanye West. And then they just like, oh yeah. They just like nod along. They don't like Kanye, but they don't know why everybody else doesn't.
Oh, we slowly like tuck our vented glasses behind our heads. We're like ashamed.
We got on the bandwagon. Oops.
Yeah, I like the idea that we only know him. You mean the sunglasses guy? That's the only thing we know about him is he makes those sunglasses we like.
But the sunglasses are so cool. No more, boys. Oh.
Oh, I mean, that is a time for a lesson on the social construct of fashion. There, that was your lesson. Moving on.
Yeah, that's it. I guess this is the opportunity for Greg to like take our sunglasses away and crush them under of his shoe or under his cane. Crunch. This is your lesson on fashion. Crunch.
And we're like, hey, that wasn't very etiquetteful.
Is that what you want Todd's last words to be?
Those are indeed his last words. I die, and then I'm not a part of the show anymore.
I don't know. I hadn't contemplated killing him until just now.
What is the proper way of phrasing? What is the state of being? What is the state of having etiquette?
I think you would just say that's not very polite.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say polite, but I don't know. That wasn't part of the script yet.
Hey, that's not very polite. Greg just like, I'm not very polite.
Oh, I guess the question could be, hey, what about etiquette?
What about etiquette? And then he checks his watch. He's like, they should be arriving now.
Oh, another pair of etiquette come out?
No, that's the drones are supposed to be really fast in
Oh.
their deliveries, so that's when they get to their destination.
Oh, I get it.
If we want to play etiquette straight, that thing should be like chukunk chukunk chukunk. It should just be a perpetual motion machine.
Of course, yeah. I didn't think about that either.
But this is just the everything is on low production for the tour.
All right, this is like the runoff valve or whatever.
Yeah, we just get to see a little bit of what's going on. I mean, they don't take you all the way through the list of ingredients when you go visit the brewery. They don't want you stealing their recipe.
No, they show you the floor models.
Speaking of floor models, that reminds me of the third option, deviants.
Are we just doing 3 constructs?
I was sticking with the rule of 3. If you want to make it into the rule of 5, I'm fine with that too. But whatever we do, deviance has to be at the very end because it's going to be grotesque and it's going to disturb everybody. Everybody but House, who is jaded.
Well, I guess whether it's going to be 3 or 5, should we cut away to the crew now?
Oh, interesting. Before we make it to the deviants?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we wanted to cut away just for the sake of like splitting it up and having intertwining plots.
Oh,
or
no, you're right. We should split it up because that way Tucker and Todd got to see more of a tour than we're showing the audience. There were probably several things in between fashion and deviance. Once we tune back in, it has been a little bit of time.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay.
We can extend their tour without actually showing it to anybody.
And we can rejoin them on the tail end of whatever the second to last one was, where they can be making a joke about what a mess it was or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then also, I think potentially the way that I see it ending up framing out. So right now we cut away to the crew, and then we go back to the space station one more time to see what's going on in the space station. And then we finish up Deviants, and then the last scene is the reveal of the leader of the Pseudointellectuals as a cliffhanger for next week.
Okay, but I was actually going to have the very, very, very last scene be the reveal of what Annabelle was looking for on the ship.
Oh, that's better.
But the reveal of the Pseudointellectuals leader is still like a cliffhanger, but it's going to be followed immediately by what is the opposite of a cliffhanger, a very anticlimactic. There's Annabelle with her Strookwafels.
Yeah, a joke ruiner.
Pretty much.
Okay, I like that, yeah.
So are we going back to the space station?
Well, so I'm trying to figure out how much time, like screen time, we actually have to give the crew. Because where were they? They had sent...
They had just made it to the little village of the Pseudointellectuals. They had been rescued from basically a dirt wave.
Oh, right. I remember that. I remember hearing about the dirt wave.
And they saw Steve Bannon, who is now just a shoggoth.
Oh, yeah. A swamp creature.
Yeah, and somehow he's still writing for Breitbart. Little pencil held in a tentacle.
Okay, so if they are already there, then I am comfortable letting us catch up with them just briefly for that like little scene.
Okay, we sure can. I'm gonna assume that we then tune in.
You know what? I don't like that. I don't like.
You want it closer to the end?
Well, I just want one more layer in the sandwich of scene switches. So we started with the bad guys, and then we went to Tucker and Todd, and then I would like to go to the crew rather than doing a bad guys Tucker, bad guys crew.
All right. So we're with the crew.
Right, we're with the crew, and I feel like the crew could. So they maybe, yeah, we set it up. They're having a little bit of downtime in the village. Maybe, I can't remember how we set it up. Did they feel threatened being there, or does everything seem normal? I can't remember.
Everybody seemed vaguely familiar, but they were reasonably welcoming because, I mean, all these pseudo intellectuals would be very polite and welcoming until you voice an opinion. So long as these guys don't say anything, they're fine.
Okay, so maybe that is what this scene could be: is everybody sitting around and the crew is having conversations about, like, it's been so calm here. Has anybody noticed, like, everything just is going well?
It is true. Nothing strange or terrible has happened since we've arrived at this little village. Even the dirt water out there is pretty still.
And wouldn't you say that in itself is strange?
Anything remaining in like a reasonably peaceful state for any length of time is just innately strange in this place.
So they put on their detective hats to go figure out what's causing the strangeness?
Would they, or would they just be like, let's just enjoy this for a little longer? I think both of these conversations occur. Somebody's like, maybe we should find out what's going on. And then, yeah, Plato wants to find out what's going on. Inquisitive minds got to know. Straight woman, the voice of reason, says, no. Let's just enjoy this for a little bit longer. This
Oh yeah, she's being the straight woman. She's happy that she's in a straight situation.
Yeah, things are not going totally wacky right now. I mean, there's a Shoggoth writing for Breitbart just down the hall, but otherwise things are fine. But they are probably like wandering through the village. There's probably like a little few market stalls for them to look through. Maybe they're already wearing local clothing.
Oh, is that what
just
causes...
like they're in ugly ponchos.
Yeah, they've gone native or whatever.
Yeah, they've been here for an afternoon, but they're so comfortable. They're just getting so comfortable and relaxed because there's nothing's trying to eat them or anything.
But being that they start cruising around the market, do they read one of the magazines? Do they read Breitbart and then it has an article in it that straight woman disagrees with? Is that how we voice the wrong opinion or the opinion?
Oh, interesting. That would be one of the ways to get brought before the leader. Yeah, maybe they do start reading through one of Steve Bannon's little bits, or maybe one of Ben Shabibo's bits.
I found...
Yeah, I'm trying to find like a
10 most despicable stories Breitbart published under Bannon.
Nice. I'll bet you that's a highly contentious list.
Muslim immigrants are to blame for crime in Europe.
Oh my god.
The actual headline is Political Correctness Protects Muslim Rape Culture.
Okay.
Let's find something a little bit more general.
Yeah, something we can safely lampoon a bit. I was trying to think of like the most obviously even that opinion would be clearly a joke. Nobody would actually hold that opinion kind of thing. Something terrible.
White people pretend to be black because that's an advantage.
Man, nothing. There's just no escaping the race thing, is there?
His whole thing is race. Flying Confederate flag isn't racist.
No, it's just in support of racism, which is racist. Gotcha.
Birth control makes women unattractive.
Oh, that'll be the one that gets straight woman. Anything that violates my body, my choice. Any of Ben Shabibo's like super aggressive pro-life, which is really just state-enforced pregnancy stuff, would make her head sizzle. But the birth control makes women unattractive, I think, is a very easy one for us to go for. I think that's the best.
I'm just looking through Shabibo ones now.
God damn it, Shabibo. We will never call you Shapiro on this show again.
Nope, you've got a new name.
Shabumbo.
When he said the Civil War was an apology for slavery.
I don't remember anybody saying sorry.
I don't think anybody ever said sorry. I think that was a fight against ever saying sorry again. That's
yeah,
what the war was for.
I'm pretty sure what the South was actually saying was "fuck you, don't take my slaves."
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, what was it called?
Jim
Jim
Jeffries?
Jeffries, yeah,
Fuck you. We like guns. That's the only argument for slavery is fuck you, don't take my slaves.
precisely. Okay, but I like the birth control makes women unattractive and crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's an obvious like ugly man opinion. Like
I
the
have a,
opinion is ugly and you just know that only an ugly man would hold that opinion.
I do know an unintended chemical biological effect of birth control that is scientifically proven and interesting.
What is that? And does it apply to all birth control or one particular hormone-based birth control?
Hormone-based birth controls.
Yeah, but there are a couple of different hormones. Some use estrogen, some use progesterone. What kind?
I believe this one would be estrogen, but I could look into it specifically. Do you know what the? Oh no, I'm going to forget the name.
Just do your best.
The what's your nose called? Olfactory complex.
Olfactory, yeah.
Even though you're going to continue to say it wrong, I'd like to interject and inform everyone it's called the histocompatibility complex.
There's a something olfactory complex, and it's a piece of coding in your DNA. And it's people simplify it by saying that pheromones make you attracted to the best partner, but the idea is that using pheromones, the something olfactory complex is able to figure out between men and women are able to, by pheromones, sense prime not like your best partner, but what partners that would create the offspring with the best immune system. Is that making sense?
Yes.
But when women take hormonal controlling birth control pills, it shuts off that ability.
So it does make them crazy because they might eventually get into a relationship with someone who wouldn't produce strong immune system offspring. But the thing is you have to come off of those birth control if you want to make those children, and then your sense kicks back in, and you're like, I can't believe I was ever with this person.
Great, yeah, exactly.
And thus we don't have to worry about accidentally producing weak immune systems.
Or weak stools.
Goodness gracious.
Or children who produce weak stools.
Those are all over the internet. Soft shit everywhere. So, straight woman catches wind of that, and you can imagine there is a kerfuffle.
I need to interrupt because you said soft shits, and it made me think of weak babies, and I had to block Google suggestions of Lost Ark forums today because all I get is posts from people saying, "We're not babies. Stop bottle feeding us new classes. Give us all the classes at once," which sounds to me like a bunch of babies.
That is...
It's the weakest stool you've ever heard.
Give us everything now.
Give it all now. You have no right to keep it from us. You sound
We want
4
it
years old.
now. Getting everything you want is for babies.
I've spent 400 hours in this game and I want everything now.
Oh god, that weak number makes me feel self-conscious about some of my actual counts and things.
Oh, well, the game has only been out for a month, so don't feel too bad.
Okay. I don't think I had 400 hours in anything a month after release.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, that's a no life it kind of thing.
That's a full no. That's a full no life. Yep. I've been no life in the game, and I think I'm at 200 hours.
That's pretty impressive for a month in.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away,
Sorry, yes.
straight woman needs to have her kerfuffle. She flips through this, and she's just like, what? And then it goes from like one headline to like a worse one to like Hitler did nothing wrong.
I think I might actually ask our straight woman to write her emotional reaction to being told that headline, and then that will be her response.
I think that would be a very good idea. Far be it from me to want to put words in her mouth. Even if I have to write the script for something like this, I would rather get her perspective.
Yeah.
But I already know it's not going to be a super agreeable one.
I was about to say that if we ever do tackle the subject of slavery, we'll go hunt down some black people to write it for us, but I think that phrasing is probably not the right way to put it.
Well, hunt him down. Yeah, okay. We'll just chase after him and Force them to do work for us.
Yeah, we'll go on a cross-state hunt. A good old... Oh, God, never. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So she has her kerfuffle, and she takes it right to either Shabibo or to the Steve Bannon Shoggoth. I don't think it can talk. I think it just kind of gurgles in confusion.
Yeah. It makes a bunch of farting noises.
So now I guess Jordan Peterson has to be like, calm down.
He says calm down, but he starts crying.
He starts crying, and then Ben has to like pat him on the back. Look what you did now.
No, just wait for one gosh darn moment.
He sounds like Kermit the Frog, though.
He does. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. And this is the point where they're like, that's it. This can only be settled by one person, our leader. So they bring us into this dim, really large, sort of one of the larger buildings on stalks. It's still mostly just made of reeds, but it's more elegantly reeded than anything else.
Now, do we cut away before they take us to the building, or do we cut away when we're at the building? Because I still want to visit Tucker and
Okay.
Todd and the space elevator again.
The camera is going to pan to the building, showing like the path that we will be taking, and then that's an opportunity for lightning to strike and thunder, and then smash cut.
Okay.
Ominous house. There's only one person who can settle this.
Oh, is there a little owl hoot as the lightning strikes as well?
Can the owl say something else?
Why?
Yes, there can be an owl.
The Y wolves.
Why? So long as the owl is not constrained by hoot.
No.
Okay, then we're moving on. Are we on our way to the space station?
Yeah, now we cut to the space station, and
the space elevator is currently being destroyed. We're watching outside portals opening up and weird stuff coming out. At least one dog comes out and humps the elevator just because. There are riots on the ground. People are throwing Molotov cocktails all over it and stuff, and just like beating it with bars, and otherwise pressing all of the buttons so that it really confuses the software.
So is that what it cuts to then? It cuts to the base of the elevator where people are riding, and then we do like a look way up, way up as we ascend the elevator to the station where our bad boys are staring down from their boardroom or whatever.
Yes, I like that a lot, especially because it's going to get weirder and weirder the further up you go. So yeah, it starts ground level, riot, fighting. Up we go. Now we're like outside portals, and like birds are just losing their minds. So many birds are just running into the elevator and dying.
Like in the core.
Yeah, exactly like that. I guess they've lost their internal magnetic sense or whatever they use. So they're smashing into shit, and we go up farther, and there's an outside portal opens up, and a tentacle comes out and just like starts lovingly caressing the space elevator. The camera decides to start moving faster now because that's creepy.
Oh, is it a double gag? So there's a regular Earth dog is humping or maybe peeing on the elevator, and then a big crazy outside dog comes and like towers over it and starts humping the elevator. The dog runs away yelping.
The small dog is like, I can't compete with that.
he has Red Rocket envy.
Yeah, the small dog gets cucked.
This is one of his friends, like, don't be a cuck, man. Or is that not necessary?
That's not necessary. I think it's all in like the subtext.
Okay.
Yeah. So then... a giant 3-headed Cerberus dog.
Yeah.
Which also means it's 3 rockets.
Oh, of course.
So 3 black bars.
Oh, and then it cuts to like, I was gonna say it was like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, or maybe like a news. Oh, rather, I don't know. I'm all
yeah, we skip right to Jonathan Frakes saying they made it up.
Okay.
It was a complete fabrication. And so it continues to ascend until we didn't actually get an opportunity to introduce any of the nations declaring war on the outside and launching missiles through it. But I think thermobaric missile is what finally smacks this thing closer to its midsection and causes it to finally start to topple, because the elevator needs to be destroyed.
And so do we go from there to some sort of I don't know, minion character reporting to Bezolbub that they've taken it out? We have to start making moves.
Oh, no, I think Bezolbub and Elrond are actually watching this occur on a screen. They've got like a view screen on the bottom of the space station. They can practically look right down.
Oh, they're watching Jonathan Frakes.
Well, I think Elrond is. What show was that? I think it was Ripley's Believe It or Not.
It was beyond belief.
Oh, well, shows what I know. The only part of that show I knew was Jonathan Frakes.
I think Ripley's Believe It or Not was Dean Cain.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's the same show.
Yeah, I think also William Shatner had a similar show, which was like a Believe It or Not kind of show. Joe Rogan had a similar show. All these guys.
Yeah, but Jonathan Frakes is a decent guy,
Okay, that's yes.
which sets him apart from all of those other fellas. I actually don't know anything about Dean Cain.
Me neither. I think he was like a Superman or something like that. I don't know.
We will assume, with no other knowledge, that he is a decent fella also.
We'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Except for Shatner and Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Shatner is a bit of a butthole. Joe Rogan is a moron. He is an anal fold.
Yes, an anal fold.
Are we allowed to say that on the internet about Big Daddy Joe Rogan? Are we allowed to say stuff about him?
I think we can say that he's an anal fold as long as we don't tell him directly that he's wrong.
It's our opinion, not a statement of fact, just our opinion that Joe Rogan's an anal fold.
Yeah, please don't shut us down, Spotify.
And that somebody should name him Mittens.
Mittens, yes. Okay, anyhow, I need to figure out what's going on in the space station. So is Elrond watching his show on like one of those little like watching football hand televisions?
Yeah. And at the exact same time, Bezolbub is watching with like a big frown as on this view screen his proud tower comes crumbling down.
Oh, is there a goddamn, why can't I think of words? Like there's a penis joke that goes in. His erection is tumbling.
Oh, that's an opportunity for doing a split screen moment where on the one screen you get to see what Bezolbub is watching, where the tower, the elevator gets cracked in half by this thermobaric missile and it starts to bend Titanic style until it snaps. And that's when something Elrond is watching makes him go, ooh!
With the want want music.
Yeah, it's just, oh! He's got to kind of cringe and scrunch up his whole body a little bit.
And so I guess now with the elevator broken, do they vocalize that they need to put the station into orbit, or
the station is watching from orbit, so they're
right,
relatively safe until this portal swallows up all of Earth. This is an opportunity for a minion to come along and say that the instability is spreading faster than our calculations.
Oh, does then Bezolbub turn to Elrond and say, "Okay, you've had plenty of time to think about this. You started all of this. What are you going to do about it?"
Yeah, what can we do about this, Elrond? And this is
Elrond's
when he's going to be cagey.
But is this when he says, "I'm useless without like my equipment or whatever. I need to go to the Fantasology building"?
I suppose he should say that he's formulated a plan, but he's going to need some of his equipment. And that's an opportunity to show like a suiting up montage. Everybody likes a suiting up montage.
Especially with butt. It's the Batman and Robin suiting up montage.
Yes, complete with nipple armor.
Yeah.
Totally unnecessary nipple armor, and he's got either a couple of pirates or maybe even a couple of Abaddon Space Marines, because obviously the Abaddon brand has its own private army.
Of course.
And they are going to be heading down with Elrond, so they're getting suited up, and then they're loading up onto one of the pod ships that's going to go down, and then just as the camera perspective is on the space station, but you see everybody loading onto the pod, and then the door closes, thereby like separating the audience perspective from everybody who's inside of the other side of the door. That's the smash cut.
That's a perfect smash cut. We smash cut to Tucker and Todd finishing up their tour.
Yes, they like what could they have to say about the previous thing they just saw?
Everybody's crying.
Oh no, save the tears unless something that was on the way to deviance was actually bad enough to make them cry. They went by love and found out that it's a social construct. That would make everybody cry.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I do like saving crying and throwing the entire bodily reaction to specifically deviance. But maybe something before can be kind of like stunning if it is love. I almost imagine it the way that we were doing, like when we were doing in the studio, coming back to the TV studio scenes. You would be just finishing off, and that's why I'm not allowed to whatever, like a throwaway line like.
Oh, I love those, and that's why I'm not allowed at the zoo.
Yeah, it's Greg House doing one of those. Maybe it can be a reference to the show.
Oh, I thought it would be Tucker saying it. He's always been the one to do it. He's be like, and that's why I got a lifetime ban from SeaWorld.
Oh, that is actually sort of funny. Okay, so here's a couple of opportunities then. So he's doing that, and everybody is in shock except Greg House, who's like laughing jovially.
Yeah, he would too. That son of a bitch.
Like everybody's white face, but he's like slapping his knee. Ow,
ow. You're all right. He's just that's the first funny thing anybody said this entire tour.
Yeah. Well, because it's not pithy nonsense.
Yeah, and it's not a dumb play on words. It's actually a story. Somebody actually did a real thing. I mean, I'm for a lifetime ban from SeaWorld, I must have tried to slap Shamu on the ass. She was asking for it. Tucker,
funny you should say that.
Tucker is not that kind of guy.
No.
But he probably did cause some kind of Rube Goldberg massacre.
But I mean, this is a good. So we come back on that line. Greg House is laughing, slapping his face, slapping his knee, and then he wipes away tears and kind of does like a breath out and goes, "Oh well." That brings us to my favorite display, everybody.
And then he hits a button and the doors open and it's just all mosaic and you just hear moans and wet slapping and like the finger in the mayo jar and just like lots of disgusting sounds. Everything is a mosaic blur. Yeah, a couple of barnyard animals. Why not?
Chainsaw.
And,
maybe not chainsaw. Okay, just vibrating motor.
A motor. Yeah. Somebody has attached a car engine to a dildo in there somewhere. So, and like a lot of these mosaic blurred out things are undulating. Some are rocking. Some are doing just like weird rolls. And it's just, you can't see any of it, but everything is in constant motion and there's lots of moans and
dolphin noises.
Absolutely. Those guys are perverts. And everybody in the audience is in totally agape with shock. And there's a moment of silence before the reaction hits. One person starts crying. One person throws up. Another person has to turn their head away. They can't look, but they manage to keep it down. Besides that, Tucker and Todd have no idea what they're looking at.
We're like turning our head. Like once again, this reference. It's it's Ethan Suplee from Mallrats.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Just literally turning our heads different angles.
What is going on here? I don't see it. That is exactly what Greg needs to say with a sort of smug smile. It's a sailboat.
And he starts snoring. It's a sailboat.
It's sure wet.
That, my boys, is the motion of the ocean you're always hearing about.
And how long do we have to look at this scene and then of course the camera focus needs to return to the group that's looking at the deviants, but the sound is still ongoing. So the sound still permeates the background while anybody might be talking or reacting. How long is the camera going to focus on Greg and his small half smile as he regards everybody else's reaction? He doesn't care about the scene. He cares that everybody else has to suffer.
I think we could like rest on that for like just a couple seconds, like 2 or 3 seconds of just watching his face soak it in. He's beaming. And then I imagine he's going to be like, well, he claps his hands together and rubs them and says, well, like he does a exit through the gift shop speech.
Yeah. Well, that's the tour. hits the button and the doors close, and we no longer have to be bathed in the sound of all of that moistness. And then we can now proceed to the gift shop.
And we turn around and we're like, "Aren't you coming?" And House is like ripping off his clothes to go join the deviants.
I think he would too. He's like, no, there's a spot in there for me.
Yeah, I've got R&D to do.
And so House slips away into like a manhole. There's like a small vault kind of turning open counterclockwise, opens it, man door, instead of the big automated door that opens up for the whole tour to look at. So he just slips inside.
Do we make a callback to coming in boxes?
Here's
the kind of box I like to come in.
I'm gonna go find some manners. There's no etiquette in here. You can come in their box. Maybe he just needs to make a reference to manners because he already was very, very clear about the etiquette and coming in boxes.
Is that the line? And what's the difference between manner and etiquette? But the door slams before he can finish.
Maybe that's the whole line, and he just shuts the door, and that's our opportunity to smash cut again. Unless you want to see what's in the gift shop, but we're running out of time.
Yeah, I didn't really have an idea for the gift shop. Like I had half a joke of we start walking, like we start exiting or whatever, and we go, "Oh, there really is a gift shop," and it's all like normal gift shop stuff.
Yeah,
or do we go to the gift shop?
Standard gift shop crap, and then at least a couple of the things are mosaic.
Well, I was gonna say we go through and everything is all pixelated.
There's at least a couple of things in there that are all pixelated. Whoa, that's from the display. It's still wet.
Well, watch your step there.
Oh yeah, there's a gnome with a mop. Oh. He's mopping up a spill.
And he's muttering under his breath, "Fucking manners.
Hate manners."
And then we end on that. We can fade to black, I think, or like slow cross dissolve over to.
Yeah, we can really slowly fade out on this gnome who is just furiously mopping.
Yeah, I like that.
The same puddle
from things.
The same puddle.
That's like a Looney Tunes end when one of them is like cleaning up somebody else's mess and then makes like a grumpy remark to the camera.
Yeah, and now we're going to go back to the pseudo-intellectual village.
Where we're being led into the chambers.
Yes, there's the ominous and really noisy door creak as the double door to this much larger reed hut opens. Inside, it's kind of gloomy, but it's lit by candles. So as our eyes adjust, as the crew's eyes adjust, and the audience, we'll have to like slowly fade in the visual. We see a person sitting in front of an altar in like a full robe with a cowled hood.
Oh, and does she says Lumos or whatever, and then nothing happens, there's silence, and then she clears her throat and somebody has to come like turn the lights on.
Okay, I like that a lot. That's immediately we know who it is now. Yes. Okay. So she even waves a wand, and then nothing happens, and and then one of the little servants comes out. Sorry, my lady, and then flips the light switch on. And now the lights are on, and she stands up, turns around, and lowers her cowl, and lo and behold, it's everybody's favorite Twitter TERF.
Do we know who she is? Do we call her by name in surprise when we see her?
I think we should be surprised. The crew should definitely be surprised. Stunned silence. They don't say anything, and she's just gonna have to be like, she's gonna have to say some line from the film that's appropriate to be like, what have we here, or some kind of thing. But it's got to be a line directly from the film, or maybe it should be like,
"What? Todd, our newest celebrity.
Why is it when anything happens, it's always you three kind of thing?"
Oh yeah, that is perfect.
I think that's everybody's favorite.
And we're like, what? We don't know you.
The crew.
Oh, right, it's the crew.
Yeah, it's not us. It is the crew. Straight woman recognizes the TERF right away, probably.
Yeah.
But Plato, I don't think anybody else knows. Gigi probably knows. Gigi probably likes her.
Gigi knows. That's interesting. Would Plato take a shining to her because she's a storyteller?
He would until he reads some of the stories. But right now,
Yeah,
her
we're not spending a lot of
identity.
time on this. We're just
Yeah,
revealing.
no. Yeah, it's just the reveal, and then everybody is stunned silence, and then she says the line, and then everybody responds with confusion. What? And then we can move on to the next thing.
Okay, and the next thing is the
Annabelle.
Annabelle
Annabelle
unjoke.
reaches into the cupboard and pulls out a shining luminescent box.
Is it still? It's still the angle. Is it still the angle where she's like looking? Oh, do we see a box so that we can see the name that they're called? Strookwafels.
She reaches in. We're still from the perspective of like inside of the cupboard or next to it, so that we can see the shine on her face.
Right.
She reaches in and pulls it out, and then the camera needs to shift to the side so that we can see what she sees. And then it's a box of like Scandinavian cookies or something from the Netherlands. Yeah, it's just Strookwafel.
Yeah.
Strookwafel.
Does she say anything, or she just starts cramming her face?
She needs to do that happy girl squeal. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And then rather than fading to black for the credits, it's gonna immediately smash cut to her sitting somewhere on the airship and just like munching from the box like they're animal crackers.
As
And
the credits rolls over that?
Yeah. The credits are gonna roll over her snacking on this thing. And like there's gotta be like a window behind her so that we can see like all kinds of weird things happening in the background, because this is right when the portal was shooting out of the volcano, right?
Yeah.
So we should hear screams in the background and see like the WAP come out and like
Right.
charge across the scene, and she's just like calmly munching on the Strookwafels as the credits roll.
Is she all in her like most comfortable like college student comfort wear, or is she still in her pirate costume?
She's probably still in her pirate getup, unless maybe she like throws what are those stupid blanket sweaters?
Or like a slanket, or the one that sounds like hoodie,
Yeah, she just like throws one of those on, just gets a little bit comfy.
and like an Alanis Morissette song plays over the credits.
Yeah, why not?
Happy International Women's Day, everyone.
I'd be fine with that. But yeah, in the background, it's basically the same sound as in that one video of watching the news I posted you, of just a guy sitting inside with a steaming cup of coffee, turns on the news, and it's just nothing but screams and gunfire and
Mayhem.
Yeah, it's mayhem out there. But here she is inside the airship, munching on the Strookwafel.
That munching on the Strookwafel is a
Naming it that was a stroke of genius.
that might be the title of the episode.
Stroke of genius. It takes the entire episode to justify the name. And it's only really justified during the end credits.
I've
Yeah,
done that
okay.
a couple times now.
That fits us pretty well, I think.
I think so. I liked this episode a lot.
Me too. And we are now probably at our limit for time. We're really pushing it.
Yeah, we're in the end times.
But yeah, that's how the credits roll, and that's it. Maybe as the credits get to the very end, she does that wink at the audience perspective, the one that has that noise, the wink sound. Ching.
I can't remember. Does she have an eye patch?
She has a cybernetic eye.
Right.
But it looks kind of eye patchy, just for the sake of the aesthetic.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Me too. I think that's a wrap, a flap, and a flop.
That is the order in which we do things. We wrap them, we flap them, we flop them.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Thank you for joining us for this flop, everyone.
Yeah, this has been a narrative adventure. I think we did more smash cuts this time than we ever have.
I think this was, because I think at most we usually do 2 plots.
Yeah, this was a busy episode.
But considering, I think we did a good job of coming up with our constructs. We've introduced a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be tied back later, because we also have our doppelganger social constructs.
Yeah, they literally just left the building and then we never saw them again.
But we'll hear about them again later.
We're gonna have to catch up with them.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode of the Tucker and Todd cast. We are your hosts.
I'm Tucker.
And I'm Todd.
And thank you, Craig and Gigi, for not fucking up again tonight.
Yeah, thanks for only fucking up once.
It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Fuck Tucker. Tucker sucks. And fuck Tucker's friend, Todd.